Hey, what's up guys? Sumo11 here, and today I'm here with...
What's up, everybody? This is Mason, the Game Ninja.
Yeah, Mason's doing some different things. Do you still have your channel Master You today? Or you
It's
doing...
just called my name, just
Yeah,
Mason Clayton.
yeah, just Mason Clayton, and then he's doing stuff on Tumblr as well. Uh, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit just to make sure they can hear you. Okay. So, today Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct, and I actually kind of forgot about this because I had another video I wanted to do, which I'll do after this, but yeah, they announced a lot of stuff. It was actually a pretty long direct.
They said it was around 46 minutes.
Yeah, it just kind of kept going, kept going. I'm not complaining though. Like they announced a lot of cool stuff. They started off with the Nintendo 3DS and then they kind of went into the Wii U, and I was just like, "Whoa, guys! You only announced 3 games for the 3DS. Slow down." Because I know the Wii U hasn't been doing amazing, and they're kind of putting more time into it. But it was like you still gotta put time into Nintendo 3DS as well.
Yeah. But I mean, they do have like eShop indie games now.
Yeah, yeah. They're starting to announce a lot more games on the eShop, and that's cool and all, but I do like physical copies and everything. So I didn't really know like what you wanted to talk about. I kind of just got like a summary from a website, and then I just figured we could go down the list talking about the different games.
Well, I did tweet a lot of what happened, so I can go down from what I said.
Yeah, what they start off with? Let me see.
They started off with
Fire
the
Emblem.
three, yeah, Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I haven't played Fire Emblem Awakening, but it looks good, and I played the demo, and I like it. So I'll play Emblem eventually. Have you played that?
I played Fire Emblem Awakening. I have it, and the gameplay is actually good. It I don't I'm not good with strategy kind of games. Like I'm just here to battle it out, adventure kind of deal. But coming from like maybe Pokemon gameplay or some Final Fantasy, but that's just strategy. So Fire Emblem on this, the gameplay is probably a little bit different as what they said. For this new Fire Emblem game, every decision that you make, it just makes a huge change on the world. So that's pretty much a big deal.
Yeah, I know the previous game had marriages. I don't know if that's like a big thing in the series, but I know Awakening was very popular with people, so I know more about that game, and it had like marriages and like people got attached to the characters, and like your decisions kind of affected the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do have my character married to some girl. I think her name was Darja.
Yeah, the graphics look really good. I don't know what they did differently with the art style. I think they changed it. I'm not sure, but it looks really good. It's like the anime art style. I think that's a very attractive art style to bring people in and everything. So, I was wondering though, do you think this will be sort of a sequel to the Fire Emblem Awakening game, or will it be, maybe just like a different Fire Emblem game?
It is a series, so I would say this is probably yet another sequel because like how Final Fantasy is, I don't think
Oh
every
yeah, so it's like that.
yeah, like there's just different characters, but
It's like a
it
different game, but they're not really related.
right.
Well, sometimes the Final Fantasy games are related because I think they did like a lot of the 13, yeah, a lot of Final Fantasy 13 games, and I think 7 might have 2 games. I'm not sure. Uh, yeah, I think 7's like the really popular one, but that doesn't really matter. Um, did you want to keep going down the list, or my list has Monster Hunter 4, which was actually very late into the direct. I don't know if you had something else that came before that.
Uh, Puzzle and Dragons Z.
Oh yeah, that game looks pretty cool. I like the anime trailer. You know how I love my anime and stuff. Um,
Knowing that they have this game on like the mobile devices already, but they're deciding on the 3DS now, and they have a new Super Mario edition of Puzzles and Dragons as well.
yeah, I saw I see this game come up a lot on this Nintendo news site that I go on, and I never really looked into it. And then I heard they're doing a crossover with Mario, and basically you're getting 2 games. I don't know how long these games are. So that might be why, oh, there are two games. So we slap two games together. We can probably sell it for full price or maybe $30 or something. But the anime trailer did look cool. He's kind of just like the main character's kind of just like walking around, and I guess it's a Pokemon sort of game or a monster fighter, some sort of game like monster game. It's not an RPG, or is it?
It is kind of like an RPG.
Yeah, kind of like an RPG. I got like Dragon Quest vibes from it. Because I think like the monsters, like three monsters in front of you that you're fighting, so something like that. And then the puzzle aspect, which I guess is like your way of fighting or something.
Yeah,
And those games are, games that are on mobile devices, but they can also work on Nintendo systems. And I feel like Nintendo should be trying to capitalize more on like the mobile market. And I feel like Nintendo can learn a lot from Apple. Like a lot of people don't like Apple and stuff. Like I see some Nintendo fans that don't really like Apple, but it's just like Apple makes a lot of money. They do a lot of stuff right. Nintendo could learn a lot from them.
they could. They could.
But yeah, the Mario one, I guess like Mario on a map. It's the same sort of thing basically. It's just like, oh, Mario, he's on a map, he's fighting Mario enemies with the puzzle sort of aspect. And have you seen that video of the amiibo guy, the guy who said he bought like a ton of Rosalinas or something?
Yeah, I
I
did.
tagged you in it. Yeah, that guy's weird. I was like, I wonder will he get a cameo in the Nintendo Direct? That guy's like a troll too. There's an actual video on him, but we're going off topic. What
Yep.
was what was the next game?
Pokemon Shovel.
Pokemon
Shuffle.
Show. Oh
Shuffle.
yeah, that was the one that's I believe it's gonna be free.
Yeah, it's going to be free coming out in May.
Yeah, that
Just,
look,
just another puzzle game.
yeah, it's just another puzzle game, but it's free, so might as well check it out. I'm guessing they'll have like a not DLC, but like down payment, not down payments, but like you can buy more in the game. So I guess DLC, or maybe you can buy like the whole game or something. Because I don't think it's. I think it's. I don't know if it was going to be free completely, but I'm not sure.
See, this is what they did because you know how most of the mobile games right now that are free, but then you gotta you
Yeah, yeah,
pay
yeah.
some stuff like, let's say Diner Dash. I mean Dinner Dash. I said Diner. Well, either way, whatever it's called.
Probably Diner Dash.
Yeah, I think it's called Diner Dash. The game is where you gotta uh, basically be the host to give the food out and all that, and you gotta use up like energy. And if you use up all your energy, you can't play no more. They have hearts where you gotta use one heart at a time, but then over a few minutes or hours or days, whatever, you gotta your hearts will be replenished where you could play again. So it's pretty much going on to that concept of the game.
Which is probably more like the Candy Crush sort of thing. I think that's probably a better example, like how you're playing Candy Crush and like you get a certain number of lives, and then after you run out of those lives and you're not advancing in the game, you have to either pay or wait to play the game again. I normally wait. I don't pay for that. It's not that serious, but it's very successful, so I guess a lot of people pay. And actually, Mason, Pokemon Shuffle's launching in February, not May.
Oh, right, my bad.
Yeah,
I gotta
so
tweet a little.
um, I didn't mind Iwata this time. I normally don't like him doing the Nintendo Directs. Uh, I feel like he'd be better doing like Japan's Nintendo Direct. Not to be racist or anything. I would prefer like having Reggie or Bill do it, but Iwata's English is good. But
I mean, he's Japanese and he's the world's Nintendo president.
still, we could have Reggie do it.
Okay, for some people that just can't understand his English very well. But anyway, going down on the list. So now they have Wii games downloadable.
That's cool, but I haven't even finished buying Wii games. That's how behind I am.
Whoa, you still
Um,
got some Wii games?
huh?
You still have some Wii games?
Yeah, I still have Wii games, but there were like there's like two or three that I still want to buy, like the Kirby one, like Return to Dreamland. I don't have that, and I might just get Xenoblade on the new Nintendo 3DS because
Let's save that for later. I got some ranting for that.
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So I don't know if you thought anything about the Wii games. I don't know if they're gonna like put them out like every week in the month or something, but I know they announced three for January, which is cool. If people want to get those games again. And it's kind of weird when you play Wii games on the Wii U. Like you have to go to a menu for like an old Wii menu. It was weird. I don't like that.
I mean, that's the only way to actually play your Wii games. But now, since they have a new way to put it, that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, but you have to download them. Like, what if you already own the title? Like, I feel like the Wii U should have been designed better. Like they could have waited. They could have waited and designed it better. Like the Wii U came out before the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I don't think those two are doing amazing. I know the Xbox One. I think that's not doing good at all. I think the PS4 is doing all right, but I feel like they could have like adjusted to like whatever they did and just improve the system overall. But that's just me.
That's just it.
Yep,
Okay,
that's just me. Okay, next game, I guess.
Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
I actually haven't played Kirby. What is it, Canvas Curse for the DS? I never played it. I saw it in the store all the time, and I never played it. I think that was like one of the really early DS games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But apparently this is like a Kirby game that's kind of hard in a way. Have you played it, the original?
I haven't played it either. I didn't see much into it.
Yeah, I didn't seem interested in it, but I guess this is kind of what what Nintendo does. Like it's better to slap Mario or Kirby on a new sort of gameplay instead of making it like a brand new character or a new series or something. It's better to slap a character that people already know on there. And I mean like Mario's like the biggest example for that because Mario's in everything.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll be checking it out. I think I'll play it. And then they have like the new claymation, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of being a little bit crazy with the graphics now. Like, what is it? Yoshi's like made out of wool or something, and Kirby's made out of yarn, and it's different stuff.
Yeah. Now they have new amiibos instead of the original Smash Brothers amiibo that we have. We got these new line sets of Super Mario Bros. Amiibos that's coming out in uh, March 20th, I believe. Yeah.
Did they? Let me see. Did they? I don't think they changed the designs for the amiibos, uh, from Smash Bros to Mario. Am I right about that?
They changed it.
Oh, they did. I was about to say.
They have like two different amiibos for Mario.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Cause I wasn't paying attention at that point, and then I saw like Wario, and they had like the Wario from his design from Smash Bros. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So
That's for Mario Party 10.
oh yeah, yeah. Is that the next game?
Yeah, that's the next game.
Yeah, I played Mario Party in college with some people, which was fun. But I think Mario Party needs an online mode, and I feel like Nintendo's never gonna do it. Apparently, the new Mario parties haven't really been that fun. Have you played any of them?
I remember I played Mario Party DS, and I did have fun with that game.
But did you have to? Does it have online?
Uh, no, it didn't have online, but I had my like cousins over, and I believe I remember I had like more than three DSs with me, and I was able to have them play with me for a little bit. It was pretty fun if you have other people to play with you. Is pretty much what I could say.
Yeah, but I think they need to kind of get away from that sort of thing. Like, oh, you need to have other people there with you to enjoy the game. Like Wii Sports. Wii Sports was kind of fun if you didn't have any games, but like once you got games, like Wii Sports was not that fun. But
See, what Nintendo is still going on is when remember Super Mario 3D World, they didn't have the online excuse me, they didn't have the online functions for it. All they had was just local. They still want the concept of how when the Super NES and N64 didn't have online capability, so they're still going on to that kind of capability for their certain games.
I mean, they can still have it. It's just like online should be there. I think online's a big thing, and like not everyone has friends right there with Nintendo 3DSs to play with them, or Wii U's or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not everyone has friends that can come over. Like maybe someone moved away, and it's just like I don't have any friends anymore, and maybe I wanted to play Mario Party. I guess I'll play with the CPUs. It's just like not as fun.
That's what everybody has to deal with when they just home alone.
Yep. Let me see.
Splatoon. Yeah, that's what.
Splatoon, best game ever. Haven't even played it yet. I don't care what anyone says. I loved it since E3. Looks great.
That game does look great.
And then like they showed like a hub off, and it's based on Shibuya, which is in Japan, and it just reminded me of the world ends with you, which has like the huge crossing in Japan, and then it has like the rap music or hip hop music playing, and they kind of had like a similar sort of thing going on. I like that in Splatoon, so that's nice. I don't know if it's a reference or not. Probably not. I guess they might just have like hip hop in that sort of area, but it looks nice, and the character designs look great. They have like clothes now that you can change.
Yeah, you can change your weapons, your outfit, the weapon. Yeah, I did say weapons. Clothes. I don't know about the actual avatar itself, but well, maybe.
You can change the race and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think you can change their hair because the hair is like there was like a model release that someone posted like numbers on, and like the hair and like certain parts of the body equal up to like 8, because I think they're octopi, right? Or are they squids?
There's squids.
They're squids. However many limbs squids have. Is it 8?
Uh,
I don't know. It's not that important.
it,
But it's just like the hair is like part of that. So I don't know if you can change it. But the character designs look great. Like they had like headphones and different stuff going on, and I believe they affect gameplay. But I wasn't paying attention at that part, so I'm not sure.
yeah.
But what?
Next, I was gonna say next game.
Yeah, but Splatoon is definitely something that I would buy, possibly even day one. But I don't know if it's like $60. Probably not. But it looks great.
Be $60. Just know it. It's gonna be $60.
I need to get a job to like afford Wii U games, to be honest.
Anyway, next game. We don't know much about it, but this Project Treasure that's coming out for the Wii U, free to play download game. 4 players, co-op, and I believe it's online as well. But
Oh yeah, that was I believe that was the Tekken creator, right there. The guy that announced it. He's always wearing sunglasses. It's weird. I think he's even wearing sunglasses in his avatar on Twitter. Um, so I think we can automatically assume it's a fighting game. It might be similar to Tekken or maybe not, but something like that. And we still kind of need to know when Tekken Cross Street Fighter is coming out, because that hasn't come out yet. So I don't know.
they did say some details about it. It's still in development. That's where I saw my resource from.
Yeah, they haven't really. Oh, you're talking about the Tekken game?
Yeah, Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
Oh, that's weird. Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out. I don't know, but they're pumping out those Street Fighter games really fast. Oh yeah, Street Fighter 5 was announced. Did you hear about that?
Of course.
Yeah. There was a Toad amiibo for Toad's Treasure Tracker. We didn't talk about that, but it's not really that big of a deal.
Well, some
That's a
people
game I
do
want to
like
get though. Huh?
Captain Toad.
Yeah, well, Toad gets his own amiibo, which also it's for Mario Party and Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, $40 right there. I think you can get that one.
Oh, $40. This is still a lot, man. I don't have that much money.
3DS games a lot. That's the same price.
I buy 3DS games that are on sale.
Okay. Uh, Hyrule Warrior DLC characters.
Um,
You got
what?
Tingle,
Yeah, Tingle and Young Link.
Youngly. I'm getting it. Even if it has to come with the pack, I'm getting Toon Link. I mean, not Toon Link, Young Link.
It's a Majora's Mask pack.
Yeah.
It looks good, but I heard something recently that Tingle was requested to not be in Hyrule Warriors, so I don't know what he's doing here.
Eh,
He
whatever that they have.
he actually got his own he got his own game, so I don't know if they're gonna use anything from that. And Young Link can turn into like what is it, Fierce Deity Link?
Stevie, that's just like a god Link, pretty much. He's grown up and he got a sword. I think is some like fairy sword that's just more powerful than the Moss sword.
Yeah, that looks cool. And I don't know if did they announce anything else for. Oh yeah, and 3 skins, I
Yeah,
believe.
new three skins. We didn't actually see what it was, but they have new three skins for the characters that's already on there.
Probably from Majora's Mask, because one of them looked like Skull Kid from Majora's Mask.
True, true. Uh, a new trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
X. Oh yeah, that was going on, and then like it kind of just stopped, and I was like, was that just a trailer? And then it kept going.
All we saw was just they keep running, running, running.
Yeah, I kind of would prefer if there were enemies out there because it made the game look kind of plain. But I guess they could have done that just for the trailer.
But that map really did look big, and especially when that dude just dropped off. I mean, just jump off the cliff.
It's a big map. They're starting to do different stuff like that. Like what is it? The new Zelda's like a big game too. Um, let me see. Xenoblade Chronicles was actually very big too.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it yet, but I've seen stuff, I've heard stuff like if you do all the side quests in Xenoblade, it's way over 100 hours of gameplay. So I mean, if you're into that,
I can see me playing that.
the only game I've gone over 100 hours would be Pokemon. I don't think I've gone over 100 hours for anything else. But maybe Xenoblade will change it. And I said Xenoblade's so Gundam now because you know they're into Gundams and
You know, all kinds of mechs.
that's nice. And they have like dinosaurs now. It feels like they're kind of like going back in time because I don't really know what happened in Xenoblade Chronicles, but I don't think there were dinosaurs and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Next game, Mario versus Donkey Kong. What was it called?
one sec. Let me see. This is a 3DS title, right?
It's a 3DS and a Wii U title.
Huh. This list doesn't have it.
It
Oh,
was
Mario versus Donkey Kong Tipping Stars.
Tipping Stars.
I didn't really look at this. I was like, oh, Mario versus Donkey Kong. I don't play this series.
Series of the game is actually good. I played two, and I had the DSi game. I think I have it on the 3DS too. And the game is actually good to play around. And since we can actually download other stages, and since they have that as well to get more content by just getting these new stars, and I'm glad that Nintendo has actually did a cross buy kind of deal, like what PlayStation does. They got a cross buy where if you play, I mean, if you buy Mario versus Donkey Kong on either the 3DS or Wii U, you're basically buying the same game on the other system, vice versa.
They should have done that for Smash Bros.
No, they should have done that on Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah, but definitely Smash Bros. That's a lot of money to shell out just for Mewtwo. Like, chill. You get Mewtwo and a soundtrack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the soundtrack is actually, I mean, you're out of luck on that one because it was supposed to be, the deadline was yesterday.
Oh wow. I wasn't gonna buy Smash Bros. That soon anyway. I'll wait. I can't afford it, man. I'll be broke if I buy that. Um, yeah, I played Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the free version for 3DS from the Ambassador program, the GBA game.
Hmm.
It was nice. It's just like I don't know. I didn't take the effort to like really play it, but it seems like a good game. It's just like not my sort of thing though.
Uh, going back, uh, we had eShop games. I didn't really pay attention much,
Is it
but
just like the third party ones?
yeah, the third party indie games for the eShop, like Gunman Clyde 2. I'm looking forward on that one.
Yeah, I have it on my iPod. I never finished it though. I might buy the 3DS version and play it on there because I like playing with better controls. Like Apple is cool and all. Like I said, Nintendo can learn from Apple, but 3DS still has the best controls.
Uh, Moon Chronicles episode 2, 3, and 4. I'll be looking forward on that one too. I still haven't bought the first one, but I'm looking forward to get all those episode games since that's like the first. Well, I wouldn't say the first person game, but like it's a shooting game for the 3DS. I've been wanting to get that kind of game.
Did you see the horse riding scene from Gunman
Yeah,
Klein? Yeah, that looked cool.
it's awesome.
And they're like more colors because yeah, the game wasn't that colorful. But yeah, what is it? Moon Chronicles?
Moon Chronicles.
Yeah, that looks nice. Is you know? Do you know about it? Like, is there like a story or something? Because I would assume there's a story since like there's 4 episodes.
Yeah, there's a story, but I don't know much about it.
It looks cool. Like something was coming out of the astronaut. I don't know if that was like his soul or something, but that looks cool. So, does it have online?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
it
think
did.
it's single player.
It probably doesn't need online because I mean it is like if it's a story driven game, it doesn't need online. Like the rules of online are if it's a party game or something and it has a short main story game or something, it needs online. But if it has a long story and the gameplay, I guess, doesn't really require online, it doesn't need online. But shooters normally get online stuff, but I don't know.
Uh, what was I going to go away? Yeah, Foster Fighters Frontier.
Yes, Fossil Fighters. You don't play Fossil Fighters, do you?
I tried the demo.
I've played the first. I don't know why, but I think there are 3 games out, but I believe there are 2. I played the first game. It's kind of I don't know. People think it's a Pokemon ripoff. I don't really know. It's dinosaurs. It's turn based. It's different because you use 3 dinosaurs, and then in Pokemon you use 1-on-1. And Pokemon does have 3-on-3, but that was introduced after Fossil Fighters. So I mean, yeah, you have that. I wasn't in love with the second game. I don't think I reviewed it, but I wasn't in love with the second game. I'll still buy it because I'm still a fan of the series, but it's just like it's not that great. So yeah, and then they have cars now, which is weird. Like they had like 3 different cars pulled up, so I guess it was like a 3-on-3 or something in the stadium. Um, I can see the game getting some sales, but I can't see it getting like that popular to like where the online mode is like just popping. Like I can understand online being popular when the game first comes out, but like if you buy the game a few months after, I don't feel like the gameplay online will be that popular. Kind of happens with certain games.
uh, all right, now we got to go to the big hit that just made everything just go boom. The new 3DS.
Woohoo! Yeah, we already knew this was coming. I
Yeah,
would
we
say
do it, but I'm just a little bit pissed off because what happened to the faceplates model?
the white
What?
one.
Yeah, the white one.
Oh,
Apparently, Europe is able to have uh, the faceplate models of the white one and the black one, but yet why do we only have just the 3DS XL new version?
well, what I think they're doing is, and I don't know if I'm right on this, but I think they're trying to market the XL as the main version. I guess like more people are flocking to the XL, so they're trying to advertise the XL while they still have the main models. I think they did this in one of the last directs or something where they showed, someone using the XL or like they advertised the XL, but they still have the original model there. I think that's what might happen. I kind of wish they would have announced doing the ambassador program here, which would be awesome. Where certain people get emails and they get a cheaper 3DS system. Yeah, I kind of want that. I would shell out some money for a cheaper 3DS system, especially I think it's an exclusive. I'm not sure, but if it is an exclusive, I kind of want that.
That it just kind of made me mad. I mean, I understand that Nintendo would do some kind of nonsense like that just to give us only the XL because some gamers are the gameplay. Well, I wouldn't say the gameplay, but it's more comfortable to have like a bigger 3DS with us. But I still want to have just a small version. A small version will be fine with me just to have it in my pocket. I may have big pockets where the 3DS XL can actually fit in my pocket, but original model will be perfect for me. I don't want the XL.
Yeah, the XL is pretty big. I prefer the original model as well. I don't really need the XL. The XL is more for people who need, they want a bigger screen or they have big hands. And I remember I forgot like specifically what game. So some games get stretched on the screen, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that, so I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I normally buy, well, when I was younger, I used to like buy everything that Nintendo put out, and it's like now I just have the 3DS, and I'm gonna get the new 3DS, and that's it. Um,
Now, what I have to say, since they're having this new 3DS, I don't think Nintendo should actually. Uh, I think Nintendo should realize, or if they do have it realized, is that some of the games that they have only exclusively for the new 3DS, they gotta work on having it on just the original model as well, like the first model, because
that's not gonna
uh,
happen.
yeah, I'm pretty much sure it ain't gonna happen because they want us to get the new 3DS, but majority of all the other games is able to play the 3DS. Like, let's say DSi. There were some DSi games only exclusively for the DSi, but majority all the games were DS capability.
Yeah, but the DSi didn't really add that much. It had a camera,
Yeah, it's just a camera.
and I guess it was better, but it I don't know. They I feel like anything that got an upgrade on the DSi, it's like, oh, it's not really a big deal. I think Pokemon got like an upgrade on the DSi or something. It's like,
Okay.
okay, um, this is different. I feel like the new 3DS, like the 3DS, will probably eventually like fade into the background, and then it'll just be like the new 3DS. And I mean, I'm fine with that because it's been a few years. You don't think it's been a few years, but the 3DS has actually been around for a long time. So it's cool that they're getting a new model. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the 3DS, so it's pretty cool that they've kept the DS around for this long. And they also announced some different stuff on the Nintendo 3DS or the new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, some another new eShop game they just announced it kind of late, which is called Ironfall, another shooting game. Looked pretty cool.
It
It's
looked
probably something I might want to get.
It's a third person shooter, I believe. I think that's the correct term. Like the third person shooter is like where you can see your character, right?
Yeah, third person.
Yeah. I wonder, does it have like a first person mode? I don't know. Um, it says it's gonna have 6 player online and local, and it's gonna have a dedicated single player campaign,
Yeah,
60 frames per second. And it's just like 3 guys, which is cool. But I don't know. I'm still trying to find that shooter for me. I want to get into like a space sci-fi sort of shooter, but I haven't found anything that interests me yet.
Halo.
No, I don't want to play that.
What's wrong with Halo?
I don't know. I just don't want to play Halo. I want to play something else. Um, they could do a Water Warfare too. That's never gonna happen. That wasn't really that good of a game either.
Anyway, I mean, at least they have like special editions for the new 3DS XO. Like,
Do people actually buy those?
yeah,
I don't get that. Like, I, I just want the normal model. Like, I don't need like a special Pokemon model.
if look at this way, if they didn't buy the first thing, I mean the first model, the 3DS XL when it first came out, like the red and the blue one,
Yeah, I
if
understand that. Then you can get like the upgraded or like the different versions of it, right?
like GameStop has the NES edition of the new 3DS XL. I mean, my older brother has that. So,
This guy I follow on this social media, he posted immediately that he bought the or pre-ordered the what is it, the Majora's Mask 3DS. Like
he immediately pre-ordered.
immediately pre-ordered it like after the Nintendo Direct.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, bro,
That's a
you
fan.
work fast.
Yeah.
I was like, are
Um,
you rich, man? But I was trying to tell you like new Nintendo 3DS like has new features and everything, like the new circle thing.
C stick,
Yeah, C
new
stick. You know, it's a
new
small
L,
circle pad.
new ZL and ZR buttons, NFC connection where you can put your amiibos on that. But they're still working on like a connector for the 3DS to actually have your amiibos connected, like how they did with Skylanders on their systems.
There's like a platform for Skylanders.
Yeah, it's somewhat like that.
Skylanders is free on Wii U, or one version of it is free. But you need like a portal, and it's like, oh man, I don't have a portal. I don't really want to go out and buy a portal because I'm not really into that. I don't even know if I'm going to buy an amiibo, but I'm not sure yet. Uh, there's not really an amiibo that I really want to get right now. I'll wait.
And I'll tell you this. Well, I'm gonna go a little bit off topic here. I do have two amiibos with me, a Link and Fox, and I play them on Smash Brothers, and they're level 50, but they are hard to beat. Like I have their stats all customized where they can take more damage, and it's it's like I just trained them as to be gods.
That's cool. We should battle them. I can battle them one time. But yeah, I need the game, right? They need to make the 3DS and the Wii U version connect to each other so I can fight people. Well, no, there would be different stages. Nope, they can't really do that.
Yeah, they can't do that. I mean, they did plan that, but in other words, their only way that they did it was that they had the 3DS as a controller to the Wii U.
Yeah, I might use that. So some people were complaining to me like, "Why? Wait, was that you?" You're like, "Why would you use the 3DS as a controller?" I don't know. That was someone. Um, but I was trying to say like the circle. What is it? C stick? You said?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like a small circle pad. Nintendo specifically said we're not gonna do another circle pad. Here's an accessory for the circle pad, which we didn't put on the system because we're stupid.
just how many years was that?
Like 1 or 2 years, right?
I'd say like a good 3 years.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. Like that's what I'm talking about. Certain things should have been designed better. Like two circle pads. Like the PSP has that. Like Dual Shock controllers have that. It seems like common sense. It's like, oh, we're gonna have one.
PS Vita.
Yeah, I need to get a Vita. Vita's actually pretty cool. And then they have like the 3D. Now you can move your 3DS, and it'll track your face. And Nintendo's never been good with the camera, so I can imagine this feature is gonna be like something. Oh, you have to be in a well lit room for this to actually work. So I
That's probably how it's gonna be.
like they didn't really have any point in saying that. But yeah. Next topic.
Uh, Codename Steam. They got this game for the 3DS. It's more of a strategy shooting kind of game. And since these new amiibos of Fire Emblem are coming out, you can actually have your Fire Emblem amiibos connected to the 3DS, or I would say the new 3DS, and be able to play on your side.
Yeah, this is developed by the people that did the Fire Emblem Awakening games, and um, I mean, it looks all right. I'm more reluctant to try Fire Emblem, and I don't know if it's the art style or something, but they said something weird like like you're listening for a second and you're Abraham Lincoln and you're like, "Huh? Huh? I need to go back." What did you say? Uh
Abraham Lincoln is like it's like all the well-known, I think, presidents or people.
Obama?
Okay, let me say Obama, but either way, it's just all the well-known, strong people of America that's trying to fight off these aliens. And yeah,
DLC Obama? They gotta do that. They gotta do that.
No.
Did you skip over like the other titles that they announced? Like what's next on your list?
I kind of scattered around, but I was going to say uh, we did talk about Monster Hunter, right?
No. Actually, I wanted to talk about a few other things. Like they announced something like a platformer or something. It kind of looked like Kid Icarus, but it was uh, different. Like some guy was trying to like get rid of his curse of immortality or something like that.
What?
You didn't hear that? It it was a game they announced.
Is it the eShop game?
I think so.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say there's like eShop games that really ain't out there.
it looked interesting. Um, there was like a president game. You play as a vice president.
Oh
It's
yeah,
by Atlas. The graphics look really good. Kind of
yeah.
reminded me of Earthbound in a way.
He's like the president, the vice president of the world.
Yeah, and he wakes up and there's like something weird going on, and he's like collecting different people. I believe they said there would be like 40 different characters, which is kind of weird. Um, but I don't know. And then there's like a. Is there a series called Mystery Dungeon? Like, is that a Pokemon crossover or something? Because I thought it was just like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but they said that there would be like a. It's like that RPG
You
that's
talking
on
about that? How you pronounce it? Iter. Uh, there's
Iterin,
another eShop game, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Iterin or something,
Yeah,
Iterin or some
Iter.
mystery dungeon. I guess the mystery dungeon is a series or something because I guess it's not crossing over with Pokemon, but it looked like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon with like RPG characters. I'll play it because I played the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, and it's not getting it's good. The latest game was good, but the gameplay was a little bit different, and I mean it has a good story, so I would assume this game will have a good story as well because it's by the same developer, and then Atlas is on there too. So I'll check it out, but I haven't really played the main series of at Ren or whatever it is.
Yeah. Uh,
The new 3DS is coming out right before Valentine's Day,
yeah.
and
Uh,
then
13th,
huh?
February 13th.
Yeah, and then I think calling it the new Nintendo 3DS is a bad idea. It's like, oh, I want the new Nintendo 3DS. Well, this one's new, but we also have the new Nintendo 3DS. It's like, huh? I don't know. It's like
I see where you're going.
it's the same thing with like the Wii U. It's like, oh, people don't know about the Wii U, and like some people like say, oh, these people are stupid because they don't know about the Wii U, but some people just don't know, and they probably should have named the Wii U differently or given it like a completely different name separate from the Wii line. Because like people are like, what's a Wii U? I have a Wii in my house already. What is this Wii U thing? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a little confusing. I understand that.
We only have a few more games left.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3D.
Yes, that's a game I would buy. It's definitely a game I would buy. You
Now, my question is, well, actually, no, it's not a question. It's just a statement.
you said you were gonna rant earlier.
Yeah, I kind of did rant of why it's not giving us the face plant version of the new 3DS.
hmm
We already talked about that.
Yeah. The thing with me is like the graphics. Like when Nintendo like ever shows like graphics in a trailer, for some reason they don't look good, but they look better in person. Like they showed a little bit of Kid Icarus Uprising in the trailer, and it's just like the game doesn't look like this. The game looks great if you're playing it at home or something. And I believe in a 3DS, but I'm not sure if it'll look better on Wii or not. I hope it looks better on the new Nintendo 3DS, and I hope it's fun to play. I hope nothing really gets changed because if things get changed, I might just buy it on Wii. But I mean, I would prefer to play it on the 3DS because that's what I play more of. So I don't know.
What was better? Um, Now, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. I can see how that game can be well known only for the 3DS, and since this is the only game that's pretty much exclusive for the new 3DS
So far,
so far. Yeah.
I can. I was about to say I can imagine Pokemon doing that, but I doubt it. They want Pokemon to sell as much as possible, so it would be. It would probably have more features on the new Nintendo 3DS if they were to announce like a main Pokemon game or something. But it would probably work on every system. That's what I would imagine they would start doing because they want these games to sell, but they also want the new system to sell. But like Pokemon, they want to get it out to as many people as possible. So yeah,
Uh, what else do you have on your list? Because I'm about to talk about Majora's Mask.
Monster Hunter.
Okay.
No, we didn't
Monster.
talk about Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter 4. I only have Monster Hunter 3 on my Wii.
You don't got Ultimate?
No, I didn't want to get Ultimate. It's the same game with just like more content.
Really?
I don't know. I think it's the same game. I'm not like a big fan of Monster Hunter. The game's kind of hard, and then it's kind. I think it's kind of boring. I don't know why people love it so much. Like, what I did when I played Monster Hunter was like I can't really beat the bosses on my own, so I go online. I was like, "Hey guys, can you help me fight this boss? So let's do this quest." We fight the boss. I learn like all the patterns and where it goes and everything. And then I play it on my own. And it's just like you just keep hitting it and hitting it, hitting it, and it's just like, "Oh, why is this so popular?"
It's like an action RPG game.
Eh, kinda, not really. I guess in a way. And maybe I need a better controller because I didn't like using the Wii and Nunchuck, but I don't have a classic controller or whatever those Wii Pro controller. I don't have that. But I didn't like it on the 3DS. I played the demo for Ultimate. I didn't like it on the 3DS at all.
Why not?
I didn't like the controls. Maybe I'll get into it again. I'll try 4 because I want to get 4, but it's not going to be put on the console for some reason because they're dumb.
You
Uh,
need, you need the Circle Pad Pro.
yeah, maybe. Do you know do you know if Monster Hunter is a Nintendo exclusive now?
Yes.
That's what it seems like because Monster Hunter is a PlayStation series. I think it's on Xbox too, but it hasn't really been on Nintendo since the third game. And then I don't know if it's like selling better on Nintendo or something, but they just kept going. I don't know if they have an exclusive deal or something. Like if at first I was like, oh wow, they're gonna put the Monster Hunter in Smash Bros. That would be awesome, but
That would be awesome.
they didn't do that. I don't think they're gonna go too like gung ho with the third party characters in Smash Bros.
But I mean, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is on the Wii U too, and
But
uh,
like things like that, they should announce ahead of time. Like they should be like, "Oh, Monster Hunter 4 will also be coming to the Wii U at a later point in time." But I don't know if that would make people not buy the 3DS version.
mm,
I guess that's something that's possible, but I don't know. I just think more people would play it on a console because it seems like a lot of people are excited about a console version. They're just like, maybe they don't have a 3DS or something. I don't know.
that's probably their only excuse is that they don't have a handheld with them.
I don't see why not. The 3DS is great.
Yeah.
And of course,
Um,
Nintendo announces other stuff after the direct. I know they did like a Pokemon thing, but that was kind of small. So, whatever you wanted to talk about.
well, I was going to talk about that final game, Majora's Mask 3D that everybody wanted. I'm pretty sure I wanted to, but I wasn't really expecting. Well, kind of, but hell with it.
What do you mean? You
I knew
didn't
it was,
hear about it?
I did hear about it,
Oh,
Majora's Mask, but
there's been
I did.
information about it for a while.
Uh,
People were expecting it too, for some reason.
they was. I can understand that.
I I don't know. I need to get back into Zelda because I haven't finished Twilight Princess. I don't like the graphics. I'm not really a big fan of the controls either. Um, I want to play the I want to play the 3DS Zelda. I'll definitely play that.
Which one? Link Between Worlds
Yeah, I'll
or
play that. But I haven't played Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. And I might try one of those. I might try one of those. Get back into Zelda, but I'm just not really that big of a Zelda fan at this point. Oh, I have Wind Waker. I need to play Wind Waker. I haven't played Wind Waker really.
wait? Did you
I own it. Yeah.
HD?
Yeah, I got it with my Wii U. It came with it.
Oh, you got the bundle. Okay,
Yeah, I got the Mario Kart bundle.
okay.
I forgot how I got Zelda. I don't know. There was something going on around that time, so I got that.
There was if you purchased Mario Kart within the time, you was able to get a free game with it downloaded.
Yeah, yeah.
It was with it. But yeah, Majora's Mask. They got a special edition for the 3DS, new 3DS XL model.
Is that what you're gonna get?
I might. I mean, if it's just
It,
a bundle and it's around $200, it comes with a free game. I'll probably get that.
no, it doesn't include the game, and it's $200.
So it don't include the game.
Yeah, it doesn't include the game. It's $200, and it's very limited.
Oh my god.
You know, it's cool to release things in I guess limited supply, but it's also dumb from a business standpoint because a lot of people want things like this, and I've heard like amiibos are running out, and they have to put more out there. Like, just put a lot of stuff out there. People want stuff like this. Like, you know how I said I'm not interested in a 3DS like this, but you want this. That guy I follow on social media, he got one immediately. So I mean, people want stuff like this. So they shouldn't have a limited supply.
Uh, Especially that GameCube adapter.
Oh,
Everybody.
oh yeah, that keeps going out of stock, and they keep having to put it out. I mean, people love the GameCube. Like, Nintendo just give people what they want.
Uh, what else to say? But other than that, if if they only have the XL version of the new 3DS only available for America, but not the faceplate models, then I'm just gonna have to get the XL version then. Because since there's going to be games only exclusive for the new 3DS.
That doesn't really make much sense unless they're trying to push the XL, which I don't think they're gonna do. But I don't know. They didn't show it, but they did something similar like this before. So who knows? But I would prefer like a small, the small regular model opposed to the XL.
I just want to point out that since the original 3DS XL cost $200 and the new one is costing $200, one of them is going to be dismounted because they already dismounted the original model of the 3DS. So they're probably going to dismount the original 3DS XL too.
Oh, that's interesting. That's nice. Yeah, I kind of said the same thing earlier. It's like I feel like they would, start to get rid of the original and push more of the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what about the 2DS? I mean, my little sister has the 2DS.
I can't believe people bought that. I'm sorry. I can't believe people bought that.
People can't handle 2D, and it's like a kid's version. You know?
Yeah, but it doesn't fold, and like that doesn't make any sense.
So
Why doesn't it fold?
the folding don't matter.
The folding does matter. Like you could break that easily. Like people were making jokes about that as soon as Nintendo announced it. Like there were memes and everything. Like you can break that easily.
The 2DS is not breakable easily, for real.
Like if you sit on that, it's over.
Okay, I don't know about sitting.
Olivia bought one.
2DS.
You know Olivia bought one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it for my list.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's do an awkward ending. All right, guys. Well, I think you should. Should you? Yeah, I guess you should probably end it first.
Yeah. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Check out my channel. Just put in my name, Mason Clayton. I'm the Game Ninja. I make gameplay videos. Check out my blog, GameNinja.tumblr.com. I do game news every day, except weekends. But other than that, I will be checking you guys later. Game Ninja out.
All right, guys. That's the end of the video. If you don't know, I'm Sermo11. You can like my Facebook page, which is Sermo11, and my Twitter is at Melvin2898. That was Mason. I want to thank him for helping me out with this video, and we'll probably do more discussions like this if you guys like it. I'm going to try to promote this because this is a long video, so I'm going to try to promote the heck out of this, and hopefully we get some views. All right, so see you guys later. Peace.